Leadership Rountable, a show that builds capacity for startups and MSMEs. And our guest today is Mr. Hakeem Shagaya. He's the CEO of Carbon Nigeria Limited, a company that's built from scratch. And of course, that's why we're here, for him to share experiences with young people who are going into businesses and who think that money is the only thing they need to succeed. Well, you'll be shocked. Well, first of all, let me welcome my guest, Mr. Hakeem. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so like I just said, a lot of young people think that what they need to succeed in a business is just capital. You've started a business from the scratch. What is the first most important thing that someone going into business needs to know?
I think the idea comes before the capital.
Okay.
And your idea, the uniqueness of it, the innovation in it, and the problem that your idea will solve will determine how much money you can make. So I think ultimately it's what solution are you providing for what problem in society, and then the passion you have to be able to be patient and follow that idea. Then the money can follow, I suppose.
Okay, so you mentioned something very important, that young people nowadays don't have a lot of patience. A lot of people start business and the first thing want to do is make money. Now, what were your own greatest challenges when you started, and what were some of the things that you did to overcome those challenges in that patient period?
Well, for most of us that go to business school, there's business life cycle. So if you follow it, you know you need to be patient for at least first 3 years. For a business to start, you need a minimum of 3 years to even start beginning to understand the potential of the business. So in that period, what you want to do more of is network as much as possible.
Network.
You want to push your idea out there to as many people. That is not a function of money, that's just a function of effort.
Okay.
Then the patience is very necessary because not just young people, generally African business people are not long-term in their mindset of planning. So usually people will plan for 6 to 12 months. When you go to more developed business environments, people are planning 5 years, 10 years. So in the difficult first 3 years of business, you really want to control your costs as much as possible.
Okay.
And then you want to be very shrewd and prudent with your resources so that you can get as much as you can for every naira. But you cannot cheat the system. You have to go through those 3-4 years of knowing. I think maybe I've been hustling in Nigeria for like 10 years already. And it seems like yesterday when you think about it. The whole idea that the business is not a destination. You're not going to get to a point and say, oh yeah, I've done it. It's a continuous process. So if you don't have the patience, like you see a lot of young people in Nigeria, you start a business, 2 years you have changed, in 2 years you have changed, started another one, 6 months you have changed, started another one because you didn't make money. Then people just stop and start a new business. That's the story of most young people. So I'm still learning. I definitely don't think I have all the answers.
Yeah. Okay, so now we talked about 2 things now that I want to take up. One, networking.
Yeah.
And that means, in Nigeria, we've not really built like an ecosystem, or majorly in Africa, like an ecosystem. Abroad, you have Silicon Valley. I know Kenya is trying to do something similar, and that's why you have people like Paystack who got into for 200 million. We don't have a community yet or a rallying point to do that networking, either in tech or in construction that you do or in other things. Is this going to be something that government can help with, or young people have to rally around each other and begin to build these ecosystems?
Well, for me, first of all, when they say your network is your network, Nigeria is the definition of that statement.
Wow.
And we do have a network. There's nothing like Nigeria doesn't have a network. You have technology that allows for communication. You have social media. You have other media formats. You have well-established agencies in Nigeria, from regulatory to private sector. So there's no such thing as we don't have a network. We have a very good network in Nigeria. But the key is that the effort you make personally is what builds your network.
Right.
So what people think in Nigeria is that your network is how many big men you know. But most big deals that I've done with people that are not the big men. It's always the guy in the middle or the guy at the bottom that nobody will really think is worth anything, that has all the information. Information is knowledge, and knowledge is what gives you the opportunity to succeed.
Yeah.
So your network doesn't mean that how many governors do you know, how many ministers do you know, how many permanent secretaries do you know, or do you know people in the presidency? Yes, those things are very important,
Right.
but they are only important later.
When you must have done the
When you must have done the groundwork. So you probably stand a better chance trying to succeed in an organization when you're going from the middle. Network yourself in the middle, so you know what the agency is trying to do.
Right.
The guy at the top in the agency is only making decisions on the macro level, on the big things. But the little things and the middle things is all in the middle. So networking is lunch. Informal lunch with somebody that you know works for an agency. Networking is, you're going for drinks, or you're playing football with this group of people, or you want to go hiking, or you want to go, whatever it is that, to get to know people. Because it's when you know those people and you talk that you know what they do, that then they can help you. But if you are not networking or you're networking just trying to find all the big men, I think you're going to spend a long time
in that process.
Yeah, and the big men don't help in Nigeria. What is it that you think young people need to do
to build capacity?
And
for people who can afford to go to business school,
that's research. You have an open source internet age that has never existed before. So you need to research. You have to research. You have to find out different things. If you're in Nyanya, if what the business you want to do is you want to be a tailor, for example, there will be 100 tailors in Ghana. So you can only make so much money. But if you're in Ghana and you want to open a boutique that sells all the clothes that all the tailors make, yeah, you might make a little bit of profit on each, but you have variety. So you must do research. You must go and study what are other people are in the kind of business I'm doing, what do they do? How do they make money? If you don't research, you're not going to be able to innovate, because no one mind is an island. You have to see, okay, what did this guy do well? What did this guy do wrong? What did this guy do well? What did this guy do wrong? And I think a lot of young people, they just hear that that guy is doing this business. They want to start doing it. Do you understand? Yeah. So that means it's not your passion, it's not your idea. You just want money. So when money is your motivator solely, you end up just rushing into ideas. Then you are not taking time to plan, you are not taking time to get things together.
Right.
Yeah, so young people, I think people keep saying young people. Business is for everybody. It doesn't mean because you are young, it means that you are going to be a good business person. A lady could be 61 and start business and still succeed. So it's not about the youthfulness of age, it's about the usefulness of the mind and how you want to approach problems. We've done some extreme things like, want to have a building that is off-grid or want to build without block. Those are extreme positions that most people will say, no, it's not going to work. But when you set the goal, you do your research, you find out, can it work, can it not work? You listen to people that understand the industry, have superior arguments, and then you use the other superior arguments to make your decisions.
All right. Now, I'm going to come back to that question on people wanting money first before actually what it takes to make a business work.
Yes.
But I want to come to this. You talked about people wanting to meet the president, the governors, and ministers, and all that. Now, generally, is there a role that government can play? As someone who has been doing business for a while now, you're familiar with the terrain. Are there things that you think government should do to help startups to succeed more? Because, this is a very harsh climate for doing business in the first place.
Government is always the enabler in any economy in the world. The government is the largest spender. The government is the macro level planner, both fiscally and monetary policy wise. So government is always relevant. And me, I achieve policy, any government in power, I don't really care. Is how can we work with the government? It's not always about what can government do for me, it's what can I do for government that will make government more efficient. Yeah. If you have that approach, so you're not going inside the budget to try and look for contracts. You're trying to say, okay, what solution can I provide? How do I provide it? There's always an issue of governance anywhere you go in the world. America is saying Trump is not good enough. If Biden comes in, they'll still tell you in 2 years Biden is not doing good enough. Boris Johnson is not doing good enough in UK. Angela Merkel is not doing good enough. But people get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, over here the problem is everybody is sitting down in their living rooms complaining about what government is not doing enough. But you that are sitting down, what are you doing that is different to show government that they could change policies in your particular field to improve? But that's not to say that you won't have frustrations.
Absolutely.
You're probably going to knock on 10 doors and get 9 no's. But that one yes is enough.
Yeah.
You understand? So government is always there. The government will always be there. Government will always, no matter what you do, they are always there. So how you lobby government, how you build relationships and network with government guys, how you form friendships with government guys to let them to open up their minds more into innovation and how they could do things a little bit differently, as opposed to you criticizing and then being aggressive all the time. I think it's always better if if you ease it in, explain to them, you sit down with them. It takes time, it needs more patience even than we talked about earlier, but it's the only way to go. You cannot fight government, and you cannot grow exponentially without government. None of the richest guys in Nigeria have grown without government. The bankers, government changed the policy. We went from 100 banks to 25 banks. This is government policy. Yeah. The telecoms, government changed the policy. Alico, government changed the policy. Mike, government changed the policy. Anybody that you want to say that is a big man, even in the private sector, government policy can always help you to grow.
So we're not in the US level yet, where Mark Zuckerberg.
Who told you that? The US government is the one helping them. Wow. Yes, you mentioned Silicon Valley earlier.
Yes.
Okay, government builds the area, all the infrastructure is there, free internet, free access to finance. If you are the smartest guy in your school, you don't need to work. We'll just carry you, put you inside there. So government is doing an enabling environment now.
Right.
They know UK is the same thing. If you go to London, you see UK placard. Yeah. Why is it only in UK? Because government is subsidizing the production of those taxes. So government is always involved. Right. The only thing is for them to create an enabling environment in the most rational, progressive manner.
Okay, so I really you talked about discussing, having conversations with government people and letting them see how they could help small businesses, opening their minds out to these things. Is this something that you're just doing at a personal level, or you're trying to champion a discourse, a roundtable where
I don't do discourse. I am very clear to stay in my lane. I don't postulate I know how it should be done, because there are people in the system that are working day and night. That's their job.
Yeah.
If somebody calls me and says, Hakeem, what do you think about this? Yes, I'm going to contribute my opinion. But I don't go to government, I don't do any of this roundtable, because I think Nigeria is rife with analysis paralysis. We have so many roundtables and nothing comes out. I just get on with it, to be honest.
How do you handle disappointments as a businessman? When you've done a lot of work, prepared,
it's self-motivation.
Well,
you should not do things because you want people to praise you or give you a pat on the back. I can tell you I get disappointed 90% of the times.
Wow.
90% easily. I put money into things that don't work. I put money into things that take 2-3 years to come out. But the point is, we're young, this is the time to take risk.
Yeah.
If I lose all my money today at my age, I should be able to make it back.
Yeah.
But if I'm older, the energy is not there.
Okay, so let me come back to that question as we round up. You understand that a lot of young people also know that the system for them, that's what they believe is not particularly in their favor. That's what we all say, right? So there's a mindset problem already to say, no, government people, they're not after our interests. It's just about them. You know, and then when the couple of noise, then they hear interventions like you win, empower, that one stops, and they're not continuous. So this mindset thing that, the system is skewed against us. How do you shatter that glass ceiling to move forward? To say, okay, so yes, even though the system might be rigged against me,
yes,
this is how I cycle myself to say, let me move forward.
The old people have one thing the young people don't have, which is unity and organization in purpose.
Right.
For all the genius ideas and all the smartness of the young people, they cannot come together and have one voice on any issue. So for as long as you have that, there's nothing they can do. Right. I see people registering Young Democratic Party. So if in 5 years' time, when I'm no longer young, does that mean I'm not in the party? You know, our guys are a bit crazy when they think about it. So if you put Progressive Democratic Party, it's a different topic entirely. But what is this right young? When you say young, what does that mean? Is it 18 to 49? Is it 50 to... So the definition that when you say young people in Nigeria, we need to figure out how to come together. In the 80s and the 90s, student unions were very strong. Labor unions are very strong. Young people would network together. They will have a precise plan. Take, for example, now, the only thing young people should be fighting for is INEC should start giving them voters card.
Yeah.
If they want to go and protest, they should all go to INEC office and sit down there.
Give us cards.
Give us cards. And let it be an online process. But that's not what's going to happen. Every young guy is trying to register them for political party. So come 2023, you won't have voters card. You are registered as a political party. All of you are broke. You cannot fund the party that you have the House of Rep member. Election field, you say the old people do lecturing. So people need to get organized. People need to get more realistic. You cannot compare Nigeria and America. America, slavery. After slavery, they were abusing black people, Indians. After all that for 400 years, the Catholic democracy is the way forward. You just started 60 years ago. Everybody is comparing Yankee, Nigeria. It doesn't add up. So I think we should look at East Africa, a lot of Kenya, Botswana. You see countries like that, they are moving forward because the young people, they know what they want. Here, yes, individually we know what we want, but collectively we don't know.
And that's why they couldn't get...
Tell them to pick a candidate for 2023, now everybody will fight. So my own is just, let's stay passionate, stay committed, go for solutions, always look at how you can add more value, don't always look at how you can take, and then, you have a chance, and that is still not guaranteed.
Do you think that whether who has been nominated as Deputy Treasury Secretary in the years could do anything for Nigeria? I mean,
why should he?
Well, I mean, for instance,
what is Nigeria for? The guy in Canada that is the Minister of Justice. Why should he do something for Nigeria?
Help Okun to get into WTO, that can help trade.
Okay, additional AFTP president.
Well,
yeah, we should want to do something in our country to make him tell America that my country is moving forward.
Wow.
If you tell him you are rent seeking, exactly, because he's a Nigerian, that's the reason why he should be doing something for Nigeria. What should he do for Nigeria? What has Nigeria done for itself? We are in FCT, we don't have light. You are in Lagos, you don't have light. You are in Nigeria, you don't have light. You have refineries, you can't produce. What can more in America do for us? So let's just, I don't like all the debates. Me, I don't say, let's focus. Where is the work? Let's go and work. There's too much work to do.